Hey, Brad, want to ask you a little bit the poise on that shorthanded goal and generally overall that you have around the net. Is that something that's developed over time, or have you always had that in your game?
I think a lot a lot of it I've kind of always had, but I think the biggest thing that really separates guys, from the junior levels to college to the American League to the NHL is being able to translate it to higher speeds. I think it might have just taken me a little bit of time to, um, to be able to do it at this level. But it's something I work a lot on too. I mean, always trying to improve our game. I think that's a big reason why we're a competitive team. Is everyone in that room, wants to get better every day, and we work towards that. So, I think it's part of, um,
You talk a
the
little bit about how you
progression of
guys
us all
met.
working together.
Oh, sorry. Could you talk a little bit how you guys met the challenge physically tonight against that group, whether it's on the back end or forwards? This is a team you want to meet that challenge, and it seemed like you guys were able to do that.
Yeah. Right now, this is a big week for our team. We're playing Wash a few times. We're playing Philly. A team obviously we're trying to catch, and a team we're trying to stay ahead of. So, um, this is the time. It's crunch time. We have to continue to separate our teams from the separate from the teams below us, and we have to build towards playoffs, regardless of who's in or out of the lineup every night. We have a goal that we want to achieve, and it's progression. We don't need to be great at the start of the year. It's how you finish, and I think we're building and get better at the right time.
Brad, you mentioned no matter who's out of the lineup, you got a fourth string goalie in there, Jeremy Swayman. What is it about this kid that he's been so poised in his first two NHL starts?
Well, I mean, we heard he was a great goalie. Obviously, you shoot on him in practice, but it's a whole different situation in a game at this level. And he's as advertised. He competes very hard. Phenomenal kid off the ice. Great to be around. And he's a great goalie. I mean, he's quick. He competes. He just seems to have great position. So it's great that he's stepping up at a time like this. Same with Vladdy. When you have your two top goalies out, for guys to come in and play the way those two have, it's huge for a group because it's confidence to play in front of them. When we have a breakdown, we know that they're going to be there to back us up, and that's what you need. You got to be able to rely on your goaltender to be your best player, and they have been the last few games.
Sophia, go ahead. Brad, you've been such an elite player for several years now in the NHL, and something that has been a theme with like your coach and your teammates, and even in talking to you, is that you're a student of the game, so to speak, and you're constantly trying to get better. But when you're already at such a high level, like, how do you get better? How do you continue to do that? Is it watching more tape? Is it longer, or different ways of practicing? Like, how are you actually elevating your game in the way you have?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is as you get older, you're competing with a whole new generation of players. And when they come in, they're so skilled, they're so talented, and the way that they can skate now, to be able to keep up with them, it's a grind every day. And I think that's the biggest thing is the fear of, getting pushed out and, losing your spot. And I think that's the biggest reason. Again, I've had great mentors in this organization to, you look at guys like Z and Bergie, and before that Rex, and, just guys that have played a hard game for a long time. And it's the way that they compete and take care of themselves off the ice. And that translates to on the ice. And, at this level now, we all play against each other for so many years. You're just trying to learn. Different players have different tendencies, and that's a big thing. I mean, there's different guys that aren't going to finish a check on you, so maybe you can spin out a little bit easier. There's different guys that maybe aren't as quick, and you learn how to expose them in different areas. So as you get to know different players in the league, you can start to put different plays together. But it also helps when you're playing with some of the best players in the world. So that's always easy too.
And really quick, as a follow-up, has diet at all played a factor in the sense of being, I don't know if you're really, really specific about that, or you're counting certain nutrients or careful to avoid certain foods as you've gotten older? Has that played a factor at all?
Yeah, I think everything's in moderation. At this level, we all train very hard and we all have a really good diet. you know, if you want to have a snack, it's okay to do that in moderation. But yeah, it's definitely a big part of it, the way that it helps you recover and different things affect you the night before a game. It's all things you learn as you go, and you just tend to do what you feel best. And, you know, part of it's superstition. Maybe you eat one thing the night before a game or the day of, and you have a good game and you just kind of stick with that. So it's always a, you know, kind of a work in progress. You're always trying to tinker with different things to maybe feel a little bit better. Cause at this level, that's really the, you know, 1% is a huge difference, and that's all you're really trying to look for.
Thank you.
Brad, excuse me, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it seems a big part of where what makes you distinct on these shorthanded situations is you look at the kill as an opportunity. Whereas I watch game after game, this isn't Bruins games, other games where the idea for the PK unit is get it and just, you know, junk at 150 feet. Don't even look at these things as opportunities. So did you have to dial that in? Did you have to oppose coaches along the way who said, hey, Brad, just get rid of it? I mean, you know, what develops that mentality?
It's definitely, again, something that you learn as you go. We've been I mean, our PK's been one of the best penalty kills in the league for, you know, over a decade now. So when you have the defensive players that you do, you're going to get a lot of pucks out. A lot of pucks get flipped in the neutral zone. And when you have forwards playing defense, especially on the power play, guys tend to not back check, and, you know, they're lazy or they're not used to playing that position. So obviously you're trying to be smart about the time that you attack, but anytime you can attack a forward on defense, he's uncomfortable back there. I mean, I've been in that position before. You don't want to be skating backwards. You don't want guys attacking you. So you're just trying to take advantage of that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but, you know, part of it's lucky bounces. But again, you know, Bergie's the best defensive player in the league for the last, you know, 18 years, whatever it's been. So he breaks up a lot of plays, turns a lot of pucks over and sends it the other way, and we just take advantage of that.
Hey, Marshy. I felt like you guys for a while now had been kind of a win one, lose one rut. So how important is it? And you referenced, you know, the teams that you're playing right now, kind of the time that of the year that it's getting to win a couple in a row here and start to get that feeling like you're starting to get things rolling again here.
Yeah. You know, that was the funk we were going through that we knew that we'd work our way out of. We had a lot of injuries, a lot of guys, you know, fighting their game a little bit, but again, with this group and the character we have, we knew we were going to battle our way out of it and come back and, you know, kind of build a game that we want to. And that's kind of what's happened now. Different guys are taking advantage of the opportunity that they have to play more minutes. You know, you're seeing that with the goalies right now and different defensemen and you know, some forwards. So, you know, it was a matter of time before we worked our way into the position we're in now. And it's, again, I said this earlier, it's crunch time. We gotta put some wins together and separate ourselves. And it just seems that we've always been a group that when that time comes, we rally and we compete, and different guys step up at different times, and, you know, we get ready for playoffs.